Hello, welcome to day 11. Today we are going to be diving deeper into the topic of scarcity. Scarcity was covered yesterday, and today we're going to be talking about survival patterns that are constantly keeping you in a cycle of lack and scarcity. And if you have not yet watched the episode or live from day 10 on scarcity, I want to be very clear. Scarcity is not a number in your bank account. A lot of my life, I had wealth, I had success, and I was living in deep scarcity. So do not think you're immune to scarcity if you have it all. More often than not, what I see from my clients and my past self is those that have wealth, those that have success are actually the ones that are living in the most scarcity. I'm going to allow others to join. Thank you so much for being here already. And so today I'm going to be diving into survival patterns, why it's important to become aware of your own survival patterns, and how this is continuously recreating or perpetuating the cycle of scarcity and lack in your life. So the first thing that you need to know is that you as a child had specific needs that you needed to be met. Human biological needs like love, safety, acceptance, belonging. And for majority of us, I'm going to go as far as to say all of us, because whether you receive these needs or not, it's all about your perception. It's less about, oh, did I feel loved when I was younger? Oh, did I feel safe? Versus how do I perceive those experiences? Because all of us, I'm sure, received some of that, but our perception of it did not. That makes sense. And so you as a child and as an adult now have human biological needs: love, safety, belonging, acceptance. For many people, they did not feel that when they were a child. And so the problem with not receiving that is that your body and nervous system created energetic imprints in your body in order to keep you safe, in order to survive, a survival pattern. And at one point, that helped you, that kept you safe. But now it's no longer helping you. It's actually blocking your ability to receive and preventing you from returning back to your natural state, which is abundance. And so in this episode, I'm going to break down how this plays out and how to shift this so you can continue releasing scarcity. So now that you are aware of that, like what survival patterns are, it's important to become aware of your own. Many people unconsciously are recreating scarcity again and again and again. And then they wonder why, number one, they might not have abundance, or number two, why the money, the success doesn't feel enough. That's because you're still in survival, just with a bigger bank account or a bigger cage. And so the way that you become aware of your survival patterns is, sure, you can understand in your mind consciously like what it looks like. For many of my clients, it's I need to earn love, I need to prove I'm worthy, so I need to work really, really hard and show the world that I'm enough. I don't need anyone, I can do it all alone, I'm going to be hyper independent. And so these are stories that trigger energy in your body, and that's an energetic imprint in your nervous system. And so what happens, what I see with many of my clients, is they're constantly acting out in these survival patterns because energy fuels your behavior. Energy fuels your behavior. It's not just a mindset thing. This is why mindset work doesn't work. My work focuses on shifting at a cellular energetic level because nothing shifts until it's at an energetic level. You can have all the awareness. A lot of my clients are very intelligent, very ambitious, have so much, are like very in their mind, logical, cerebral, but nothing has been able to shift for them. That's because these energetic imprints are still living in their nervous system, constantly recreating scarcity. So if you and your body, nervous system, create an energetic imprint that you need to earn love, it will never feel safe to receive until you release that energetic imprint. This is what I do with my one-on-one clients. This is what I guide you through in the 3-day abundance reset you can get in my bio. But if you feel that you need to earn love, this is not a mental concept, this is in a body, then you will constantly chase, you will constantly perform, you will constantly prove, because receiving love without earning it feels unsafe, feels unfamiliar. So this is why subconsciously, you might be sabotaging yourself when you're starting to get a lot of success, or it just never feels like enough because you are not chasing wealth, you are not chasing success, you are chasing relief inside of your nervous system. And so for many people, when they get to the milestones, they get to the wins, they get to the achievements, it's never enough. The goalpost moves. And this is very, very different than having goals and wanting to go on a journey with yourself to achieve that versus it's never enough, it's never enough, it's never enough. Because it's energy in your body that's fueling you. It's deep shame, fear, guilt, lack that just recreates more and more scarcity. I'm going to drink some water. So the first thing you need to become aware of is what survival patterns are present for you and how did they try and keep you safe? And how are you unconsciously recreating scarcity in your life? Really, the most important thing is becoming accountable and responsible for your life. Everything in your life is a direct correlation between what your nervous system is still running, the operating system and software. This isn't about feeling guilty, judging yourself, blaming yourself, feeling more shame, but it's really about taking control back of your own life. Hello, Dean. Thank you for joining. We're talking about scarcity and survival patterns. And so you cannot shift anything that you are not willing to take accountability for. It's not about blame. It's not about shame. But there's no difference between you and other people in the world that are receiving massive abundance, because abundance is your natural state. Which brings me to my next piece of this, which is fear of being seen. We're going to dive deeper into the fear of being seen, but what I want to touch on today about this is that you will not be able to release survival patterns until you have cured or healed your ability of being seen. Everyone has it, especially the ones that say they don't. And fear of being seen really is just about you not being able to see yourself. And you are not able to fully see yourself because you learned when you were younger, it's not safe to be who you are. You're not going to be loved for your true authentic self. Each person has a specific event when they were younger, typically from the ages of like 6 to 10, where they didn't feel accepted for who they are. And so when you didn't feel accepted for who you are, you started wearing masks. You started carrying shame, guilt, and fear in your body that was never yours to carry. And you actually went further away from abundance, your natural state. And so in order to heal the fear of being seen, you need to be doing nervous system energetic work. This is all the work that I do. If my work resonates with you, you can send me a message. But you need to be shifting at the energy level because your body kept the score every time you were not loved, every time you were not accepted for your true authentic self. And the portal gateway to abundance is being your authentic self. And so that is really, really important if you want to shift away from scarcity and survival patterns. But everyone has survival patterns that are unconsciously continuing to play out their lives. These patterns are not just a mental concept ideology, they're living inside your nervous system. And so that is why no matter what you do, they don't shift because you haven't shifted at a cellular energetic level. And so really get honest with yourself on how you are the one that is constantly recreating scarcity unconsciously. So many times we don't receive the abundance that we know in our hearts we can receive, but we don't realize we are the ones that are actually blocking ourselves from receiving it because it requires us to be who we truly are. It requires us to have courage to no longer identify with these survival patterns. If you are someone that received a lot of love through performance, through achieving, then that's the mask that you're wearing. And you will never feel safe or comfortable just receiving because it will feel foreign. It will feel like, wait, no, I need to keep earning. I need to prove my worth. Or if you are someone that didn't receive the love that you desired, so you became hyper independent, then you won't allow other people to help you, to meet you. And you're continuously recreating that story in your nervous system of, I have to do it all alone. It's not safe to receive. Hello, Ryan. So great to see you. We're talking about scarcity and abundance and survival patterns. So whatever you learned when you were younger as a child, that created survival patterns. And I'm repeating some of this depending on where you're joining from. So make sure you catch the beginning. And it created survival patterns for you. all around your core human biological needs: love, safety, acceptance, belonging. And so the work now is going into the body and releasing that energy that continues to fuel the scarcity and survival patterns. So really become aware, like I mentioned earlier, how you are the one that is unconsciously recreating scarcity, how you are the one that is actually addicted to scarcity, how you are the one that actually is addicted to your own suffering, because receiving abundance abundance is just neutral, feels very unsafe. It doesn't feel normal to you because your whole life you were in chaos, you were in dysfunction, you were in dysregulation, you were in fight or flight. This is why so many of my clients come to me that have so much wealth, have so much money, it never feels like enough. They were never chasing the wealth and success like they thought they were. They were chasing love. They were chasing belonging. They were chasing acceptance. And so really become aware of what your patterns are, how it's fueling your life. You can't shift unless, number one, the first step is awareness. But awareness alone doesn't shift anything. Energy, attunement, going into the body, cellular shifts do. For a long, long time, I was doing mindset work, and it just never worked. That's because nothing shifts until it's at an energy level. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in, depending on where you're watching this, on YouTube or my podcast or Instagram Live. But really, everyone has a survival story that was created to keep them safe. It's energy living in the body, fueled by mental stories that then re-trigger this. And so your nervous system doesn't know the difference between the past, present, or future. For many people, they're recreating their life based on the past, based on what they don't want. But they have no idea because they're unconscious to it. Their body has become addicted to these energetic imprints. And so the way to shift that to get more abundance is by rewiring the nervous system. This is all the work that I do. If you feel a pull, if my words activate something inside of your body, if you feel pulled to my work, that is the invitation to send me a message and come work with me. And so really, what you need to realize is that scarcity is not a mindset. It's not a mental concept. It's energy living in the body that's all fueled by shame, fear, and guilt. But that shame, fear, and guilt was never meant for you to hold, never meant for you to carry. You don't need to hold on to it. But your body is not going to feel safe or familiar with something new. So what you need to do is do nervous system work. So you create a new baseline, the operating system foundation of abundance. Because right now, abundance feels very, very unsafe. That's why you may notice you have a lot of wealth, but it never feels like enough. Or you don't have the abundance that you desire, but you know you deserve. Hello, I see a few more people have joined. If you want to share any questions in the chat, we're talking about survival patterns and how they were formed in childhood to keep you safe, which is blocking your abundance. I'm going to see what else on my heart wants to come through for today. Let's see. Majority of people are blocking abundance unconsciously. They are the ones that are blocking abundance because they have not yet become aware of their survival patterns that are living inside their nervous system. So you need to realize and understand that you are the one creating scarcity, whether you want to admit it or believe it, because it's much easier to blame external factors. It's much easier to blame something outside of you. And what you really need to work on is having courage, being who you truly are. There's a difference between knowing who you are and giving yourself permission to be who you are. You know, a lot of my life, depending on which series you've watched, I was like the perfect one, the one that had it all together, the performer, the achiever. And that's not all of who I am. I'm deeply sensitive. I can read energy like a second language. I can literally feel what's in my clients' nervous systems and help them shift within minutes. And the more that I allowed myself to claim this, the more the floodgates of abundance came in. Because if you don't allow yourself to be who you truly are, people can't find you. They won't be able to see you. So this episode was all about survival patterns, receiving more abundance, and how you are creating scarcity again and again. I'm not going to summarize this because I know you will get the codes and gems that you need. If something in you activates when I speak, if something draws you into my work, this is your invitation to send me a message. I have one-on-one options, as well as the 3-day abundance reset is the perfect place to start if you're new in my world. And thank you for being here. Send me a message or comment, whatever is on your heart. I would love to hear from you. Thank you.